Unfortunately, Soapbox Darby, the podcast, I won't be uploading any further episodes here. If you're one of the very few people who come here, you'll notice that the old ones are gone. Look, the reason for that is, in the past it's happened before, but it just happened again, that a podcast from a few weeks ago called Trigonometry apparently contained some medical misinformation. Now, certainly is never my goal to promote medical misinformation, but it was a 2-hour-long podcast. All I can think of is that I may have been reading an article and then kind of debunking it, and reading from that article, it might have been the article that contained the medical misinformation, which might have been the very reason why I was debunking it. But that doesn't work well with the YouTube analogy. What's it called? You know, the little auto-learning machine thing that scans over the words. I got myself in hot water because it was issued as a warning, and they went, hey, don't worry about it, it's just a warning at the moment. But I kind of appealed it and wrote them a note saying, could you point out where it was in this 2-hour thing? Because I've actually got no idea of where I've done this, you know. It kind of would help if you let me know. And I got a message back saying, you're still in, you know, no, nothing great. Misinformation still, blah, blah, blah. It's still pulled. And with a warning now that said you don't, because you've so-called appealed the sort of thing, which I technically hadn't, you now have no further warnings. Next time it'll be a strike. And my memory might be wrong or whatever, that it happened on this channel, that I already got a strike, which was the reason why I separated out my original songs channel to be a totally different channel, etc. The problem is that podcasts can be like years old, and then all of a sudden the algorithm, that's what I was looking for, finds something objectionable, and suddenly, boom, here you go again. You've done something inappropriate. And the problem is, like with podcasts going for 2 to 3 hours, something might have only lasted for 30 seconds, and they just don't actually tell you what it is you said. And I'd be usually pretty much more than happy to remove that section if I've done anything wrong. But unfortunately, you don't get that luxury. You just find out somehow there's something somewhere, a needle in a haystack, and they're not going to help you look for it. So I just don't want this channel to get blasted and sent to the graveyard, because it is the special channel for Soapbox Darby, where if there's some other little curio or something, I'll still upload some things here, just not the actual podcast anymore. You can find Soapbox Darby on Apple Podcasts if you search that in Google. You can find Soapbox Darby, of course, with an A, and put in the word Spreaker, and you'll find it there. I'll leave a couple of links in the show notes, and I'll encourage the few that come here to just download it from those other places. And the strange thing is, with that one, Trigonometry, there was a surge. There was way more people that had actually viewed it. So I have no frickin' idea why. But I don't know. I remember when we first came onto the internet, and it really was a very open place. But YouTube, Facebook, they're not the internet. They're just on the internet. So I guess we've allowed ourselves to become the sort of plaything of these huge corporations. When they were small corporations, oh boy, they really wanted us, but not so much now. I do not know for the life of me how some of those people with their big channels manage to survive, because this sort of stuff pings them all the time. They seem to work a way around it, but unfortunately, not I. So, Soapbox Darby Podcast, Apple Podcasts, and the same Spreaker.com. Thanks, lovelies. Bye.